Welcome to Homeschooling Simplified, and I've got Zach with me today. And Zach, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, so my name is Zach Miller. I am a business owner. I own a lawn care business called Geeks Lawn Care. I was born and raised in Seymour, Indiana, and I currently go to IPUC in Columbus for business management.
And Zach, why did you choose the lawn care business?
I would say that it's because whenever I started, I was in high school, and it had a pretty easy like a pretty low restriction to entry. So like me and my business partner Toshi, we just had to save up about $200 each and buy a push mower. And then my parents handed me down a white Dodge Grand Caravan, which is a minivan. And so we basically put those two things together and then we started.
Awesome. So, how many years have you been doing this?
It's been 3 years now. We started my junior year of high school.
And do you enjoy doing lawn care?
Yes, I do enjoy it.
And can you describe a typical day for us?
So basically, I can wake up whenever my earliest appointment is that I made with one of my clients. So sometimes I've started at noon, sometimes I've started at 9 in the morning. But I'll just, if I have a full day of mowing, then I'll mow. I'll take a break whenever I want to take a break during that time, and then I'll get home however late it takes me. So it's kind of a custom schedule that I can make myself.
Did you know you were going to do this type of work when you were a young child, or what did you think you would be as you got older?
Yeah, so my dad actually got me started in thinking like an entrepreneur because he, ever since I can remember, would always talk about these or not really plans, but these really good ideas for starting businesses or for products that he could make and sell, all of these cool ideas. And so basically I kind of took that on myself, and that kind of grew in me. And so as I grew up, I started looking at how I could do certain things or make certain things. And then, yeah, that just ended up being lawn care.
And how many hours a week do you work?
Uh, for the lawn care, I work about 30 hours a week, and then I do have a side job, which is just a part-time thing that I do in the morning, and that's probably 10 to 15 hours a week.
And how many do you have employed in your lawn care business?
So it's me and then my business partner, which he's not currently working. He's just kind of helping me do like behind the scenes stuff. But my little brother has been working for me for a year and a half now, and mostly all he does is weed eat, and then he can also help me if we're doing landscaping or whatever else. So.
And what made you get into this type of work? Is it like just love for being outside, or what actually got you thinking I'm going to do some lawn care?
Mhm. Um, I would say whenever me and Toshi were in middle school, we started a little lawn care business, and we had probably like 3 people that we mowed for every week. And then our parents had to drive us around and stuff. And so we realized that it wasn't super hard to do it, and that also it's pretty relaxing to be mowing and to just be like I always just have my wireless headphones on, and then they're noise canceling, and then they also are Bluetooth, so I can just listen to music or listen to podcasts or YouTube videos or whatever, and just mow, and it's relaxing. And um, I think you can get really good money for the amount of effort that you put into it too, for sure.
Are there a lot of openings in this type of work?
Yeah, I think that as long as you're able to get your hands on a lawnmower and to get your hands on a weed eater and to somehow get around, or if you just need to walk around your neighborhood and ask people if you can mow their yard, then you can start whenever, because um, I think the need for it is ever growing, because I think maybe America is getting lazier and lazier, and so people, I mean, mowing your grass is really terrible. So
Yeah.
if you're okay with doing it, then and you'd be okay with doing it for other people, then I think you can do it for sure.
Yes. And I think a lot of people work so much that they need that extra help because they're thinking,
Yeah.
man, I don't want to do my lawn when I get home. I'd rather spend time with my family. So whenever you find that need that someone has and it's abundant, like with lawn care, then you're gonna get into a job set that is gonna, like you said, ever be growing. What's the most satisfying thing about your job? Would it be the money, vacation, coworkers, retirement?
The most satisfying things, I think that there's two. The one is absolutely being able to pick my own schedule and just like it's almost complete freedom. Like at the end of the day, I still need to answer to my clients because they're my boss, like my metaphorical boss. And like if I don't make them happy, then I could lose their business. And then if I lose all of their businesses, or all of their business, then my business is gonna not be a thing. So I still need to answer them, but most of the time they're fine. If I wake up and I'm like, I really want to do something else today. And then if I text all of them and they're all fine with it, then boom, I'm free for the day and I'm completely fine. And then the second thing is, um, even if I wanted to either start another business and focus solely on that one, or if I just wanted to stop mowing for some reason and work for somebody else or whatever else, then there's a beautiful thing called owner's comp, which is whenever you're still getting paid a small portion, but you're still getting paid by the business just for being an owner. So, yeah.
And what has been your biggest struggle in getting this business started?
Our biggest struggle since day one has always just been trying to find more clients. So, right now we have 40 that we mow almost on a weekly basis. We mow most of them on a weekly basis, but some of them are every other week and stuff. But yeah, just I've always not been good at selling to people, at trying to get them to buy stuff or at marketing. So it's just been a struggle for us. And luckily, my business partner, Toshi, is more in tune with that and he feels more comfortable with doing that. But it's still just something that we haven't really like gotten a hold of yet. So we're working on that for sure.
So my next question was, where do you see this business in 5 years and 10 years, like in the future? So growth is definitely there.
Yeah. So next year we're actually going to be adding our second crew. So a truck, all the equipment, the trailer, and then just the actual crew themselves. And so we're basically going to cap this one out around 50 yards a week. And then the next crew, which we're going to be starting in the spring, is going to be led by, I've talked to a few different people, but most likely this woman that goes to my church. She's about 28 and she's out of college. I feel like she would be able to be committed to us for at least 3 years. And then after that, crew grows to capacity, then just keep expanding and hopefully just ever keep expanding. And we'll see where it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. So you can see both men and women able to do this type of work.
Yeah, for sure. I think as long as you're okay with being outside and being under the sun and getting calluses on your hands and maybe getting hit in the face a lot with little rocks whenever you're weed eating and stuff like that,
Goodness.
then I think anybody can do it as long as you're fine with those things.
And just to throw this question in here, outside of lawn care, do you have any other hobbies outside of this job?
Yeah, so one thing I really like doing is helping out at church, and I love hanging out with the kids in the youth group. I'm 20, so they're all like in my age range too. And yeah, I love doing that. I love to hang out with my girlfriend, and I also enjoy making music too.
You mentioned that you were going to college, taking some college classes for business.
Yeah.
Did you pick that class knowing that going in, hey, I have my own small business, I want to grow it? And for the middle schoolers and high schoolers that might be watching this, is there any extracurricular or classes they might should think about taking that you think would benefit them?
Yeah. Something that I wish I had done in high school or middle school. I don't know if they have any business classes in middle school, but if they do, and if you find anything, then take them. Take as many business classes as you can, because I mean, even if eventually you change your mind, you're like, oh, I don't want to own a business anymore, I want to do this, then I think there's something really good about the business world, or like the educating yourself in business, because it opens your perspective to a new way of looking at things that can help you be different. And so that's in college. What I mean, I've been in college for 2 years, or a year and a half actually, and I've learned a lot of really good accounting uh, knowledge. And something last year, my one of my professors, or my favorite professor so far actually, was mostly just talking about the worldview of an entrepreneur, or the mindset of a business owner. And that was something that like really helped me. Going into college, I mostly just wanted to learn how to really effectively run this business, and to like grow it, and to make sure that everything was in order, so that I mean, I don't want to like get really big and then for some reason I'm not keeping track of our finances right, or paying taxes right, and then we end up losing everything because of something like that. So I really wanted to just focus in on learning how to run it effectively.
And you mentioned that you work about 30 hours with the lawn care business, but do you have any overtime that you have run into that you're forced to do? And if so, how often does this happen?
Um, I think I definitely have. I remember like the first year, me and Toshi actually worked together the first year, but we were raking leaves for this lady, and I scheduled way too much for that day. But we really needed to get this in for the lady, because the next day was Sunday, so we weren't going to work that day, and she really wanted her leaves done. So we got to her house at like 8 o'clock, and then we raked her leaves until like 11:30 at night. And the thing we had was just like the street light, just one single street light, and oh, it was terrible. It was so terrible. And we had a truck then, and we had the whole bed of the truck filled with bags of leaves, and then we had the inside of the truck filled with bags of leaves. Like me and Toshi had leaves on our laps too. It was terrible, and it was so dark and so late. So it's kind of just how much you schedule, and you just need to be good at managing that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
inside of the lawn care business, don't rake leaves. I'm kidding. Um, so Zach, what would be the pros and cons of working in lawn care?
So a really awesome pro is that you get to pick your own schedule all the time, and um, you can make your business different in however you want it to be different. Like, I actually had thoughts, and I still do think about it sometimes, of since our name is Green Geeks Lawn Care, I was thinking about like everybody has to wear like geeky glasses or something. Like, some that's so cool to just like, nobody's telling me you have to dress up this way, you have to do this, but it's my decision what type of business do I want to be? Do I want to be a guy that everybody looks at and they're like, oh, he's a dirty guy that just wants money and stuff? Or do I want to be somebody that's everybody thinks is really friendly and really professional? Or like, it's so cool to be able to pick how you want your business to be. And then also, whenever you own a business, you pick how you want to pay. So most of our lives we have experience with working for people, and so we are basically a victim of how they want to pay us. So maybe they want to pay us really bad, or maybe they want to pay us really good. But in owning a business, you pick how you want to pay yourself, which obviously is going to be good. People are, at least in lawn care and in other trades with like plumbing or being an electrician, since those are more specialized and other people don't want to do it, then people are willing to pay you more money to do it. So yeah, the pay is really good too.
And what would be a con?
Um, a few cons would be that it's you have to put so much time into this, and you have to wait for it to grow. It doesn't just happen. Like, you can't, I mean, maybe if you had the best idea in the world, then you would still have to find how to get funding for it. You still have to find a way to make it grow. It doesn't just, you don't just have this awesome idea and then it just happens. You have to have time. You have to invest into it, and it can be really discouraging and really frustrating. Like, why can't this just grow? Like, I have everything down. And another con would be that once you start a business and you start working at it, then honestly, it can feel like you're never done working. And like, even when you get home for the day and you're sitting there watching TV or something, and you're like thinking about the business, you're thinking about, how can I make it grow? What should I do differently? And how should I market this differently? And so like, that was something that I've started struggling with last year, because I started realizing that, like, I'm thinking about this while I'm driving, I'm thinking about this while I'm eating. And so it's something that to like get used to, or try to like balance more. I think I have more of a balance now, and but it definitely is a thing. The business doesn't, your work doesn't just end whenever you're done working for the day. So
And as our last question today, do you have any encouragement for students or high schoolers that think inside themselves, hey, I think I want to own my own business. I want to do my own thing. And they have these desires, but sometimes it's not always, it's not something open to discuss. Not a lot of people encourage that. So do you have any words for them?
yeah. So something that was so in my favor is that I started young. Whenever I was 17 years old, and I was still in high school, and I literally had nothing to lose except for $200 that was put into the lawnmower, which is not a lot of money in the long run. So um, if you feel really deep inside of you that you want to do this, and that you want to be your own boss, and that you have this idea, or you are really passionate about something, as long as you can physically do it, then if you put the time into it and you invest and let it grow, then you can literally do anything. You can seriously do anything that you want to do. Just be willing to put time into it. And honestly, if you can, then start young, because you have a lot less to risk than whenever you're older.
Yeah, that's very true. Very true. And then find mentors or those that have experience that you can learn from and gain knowledge from. Yeah, I totally agree with what you said, though. That's awesome, Zach. I'm so proud of you. And you're 20, right?
Yeah.
20 years old, has been running his own lawn care business for 3 years. Very impressive. Very proud of you. I'm thankful that you were able to come on and give us some tips and answer some questions for us. And if any of you have any questions that we didn't mention here today, just comment or message me. I'll make sure I ask Zach and we'll get those answers back to you. So thanks so much for being with us today, Zach.
Yep. Thank you.
Bye.